We are here at YCS Fort Worth with Farfa, who I'm sure all of you have heard of. What's going on, man?
What's going on, guys?
So this is your first American YCS, correct?
Yeah, it's my first time in the States ever. So it was been a really enjoyable experience, actually. I've had a lot of fun. I figured that for doing content as long as I have, it's probably time I came to like a North American event, see what it's about, see what differences are and how it is, and it's been really fun. Yeah, it's been enjoyable. There's some stark differences between Europe and NA, I guess we'll talk about in a bit, but yeah, it's been a super awesome experience, and yeah, Texas, everything's bigger, right?
Yeah, everything's bigger in Texas.
Yep.
So what was the reasoning behind this YCS in particular instead of like a different one?
I actually have family here in Fort Worth, so I was like, okay, cool, I'll go visit my family at the same time. So it was like, it made sense because I was looking at the calendar year and trying to see like where I could fit like an American YCS in, what would be the best time, because I got family and stuff back home, so I gotta like see them and take care of things and be responsible as a human being. I can't just go around playing YuGiOh forever, but I managed to slot this in. And yeah, it's been really cool. So I thought I'd like, two birds with one stone, family and YuGiOh, and met a lot of different people. Met Doug finally for the first time, Simo, and the whole gang.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a really awesome experience.
That's sweet. So what's this being your first American YCS? What's one thing that like surprised you about this event compared to like a European event, good or bad?
The biggest thing that I first noticed was the fact that you can pre-register in America without a deck list. Like that's crazy to me. So that would save like so much time and effort, because like you literally like you pre-reg on the Friday, and then on the Saturday you just show up and you just throw a deck list in the box.
I was say we didn't have to wait in a line at all.
Yeah, there's no line, there's no like messing around. It's just like 30-second process. It's crazy. It's so much better for pre-regging, because in Europe when you pre-reg you need to have your finalized deck list, and that's very like bad, because if you are meeting up with people you only see like 3-4 times a year, especially us in Europe, it's literally like 3 or 4 times a year you see these people, because we have fewer YCSs. So you meet your friends like on the Thursday night, Friday, you play test, and you make some adjustments and testing with all the lists that you've been theorying together. So you want to be able to like include those cards that you've tested with on the event weekend. And in Europe, you're not really going to be able to make those adjustments until like you just last minute rush to the line on like 10 a.m. Saturday morning. Whereas in America, you can pre-reg, decide on your final deck list like with all your friends like for the Friday night, Saturday morning even, and you just throw your deck list in the box. That's like the number one like best thing.
Yeah, I mean I got like those no materials like the midnight on Friday. Like yes, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Doug was looking for some no materials, and
all night.
We used our collective popularity power to try and find him a playset of gnomes.
And it didn't work, but eventually it did.
Yeah, we got there in the end.
What's one thing that you're missing from this event though that's at a European event?
Like the most obvious one is like the stream, obviously. Like right now, like you have some insanely good players. Like America has like a lot more like, I guess like there's a bit more, what's the word? I want to say like celebrity-ship over here. Like it's more like wow, like when you see someone like who's a good player in America, it's like everyone kind of like knows them. There's like a bit of like a fandom around them. So I want to see these amazing players like play. I want to see them like compete in person. And in Europe, like it's pretty simple. You just sit and you just watch a stream. Like they literally just have like a big screen that like everyone just sits around in the venue, and we just watch the live stream together. So that's like really fun. But over here in America, it's very rare there's a live stream. It's North American WCQ, and like that's it. But other than the streams, I don't really know. I think like overall, like it's just done well. Like it's basically just an issue of coverage. I think they're pretty much run to like the same quality. I didn't notice any like incompetencies per se, or like things that were done better. In fact, if anything, I feel like things were run a little bit smoother and faster here. I feel like things have just felt faster here, and it might be to do with the pre-reg. So, other than the coverage, I think they're both pretty similar in that sense.
Okay, I mean, that makes sense a lot. So explain to any American viewers that have never heard of it, what is the Local Legend Duelist Series events?
So in America, you guys have the UDS, which is probably more valuable to a competitive player than a YCS. And in America, you have the UDS Ultimate Duelist Series. You get your belt, you get buys up YCSs, which is
free
insane.
entry.
Yep, free entry and all that. So it's a really great rewards program if you're like a super good competitive player. In Europe, however, our alternative is the Local Legend Duelist Series, which there's pros and cons. Like it's nowhere near as prestigious. If you're like if you win like an LDS in Europe, it's not like a big deal per se. Like as winning a UDS, like nowhere near. But the idea is like because Europe has like smaller scenes that are more scattered, because like American regionals like hundreds all the time. In Europe, like very few regionals get like hundreds per se. So in order to like promote that a bit more and get more people going to these events and stuff, they'll like bring people together at the LLDS, and then you have like a stage one. It's literally just the locals. I think it's probably more akin to like the OTS championship you have here. So you go to your LLDS, you play stage one, and then there's invites there. And then those invites get you to stage 2 of the LLDS, which I think is like, I think you have to go to a different location. Oh, normally they take place at YCSs, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I've never really like taken part myself. But there you can win like prize cards and like, you know, really good goodies like that. But unfortunately, it's nowhere near on the level of the UDSs that America has. So I think for most competitive players, we would definitely like be more interested in opting in for a UDS over an LLDS. But at the same time, there's pros and cons to both. Like, you know, a lot of casual players in America probably don't care about UDSs. If they had LLDSs in America, a lot more would be interested. Like, you'd have booming locals and stuff. It's give and take. It's give and take.
Okay. Are you excited for the 3v3 YCS that's coming up in Europe?
We don't have anything officially confirmed yet, but we do know that there will be one. Like,
okay.
If you guys saw my interview with Matthew Bell, product manager of Konami Europe, he explicitly said, like, you know, we are definitely working on it. We're just trying to work through the logistics and stuff. No official confirmation or date, etc., etc. But there is going to be a 3v3 at some point in Europe, and I'm like hyped for that. I'm not very good, so I need some partners. Like, that's the hardest part. Trying to get someone to carry me.
What? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you're fine. You did pretty good today. I mean, what deck did you play this weekend? Why did you choose it?
I played Burning Abyss. I chose it because apparently I'm slightly masochistic or something. I don't know. I hate myself. It's my signature deck, so I guess I'll just play this for this event here.
Resolve some Farfas?
Resolved a bunch of Farfas. Sent too many Farfas because I'm playing Hydrolander, so now there's 2 in the grave. Stuff like that. Yeah, it's nonsense. I will be having a profile up on my channel at some point. So
and we'll link that in the description when it goes up.
Yeah, if you guys want to check that out. Then.
I have a 2-part question to finish this out. First, what is a tip to a European player about going to their first American YCS? If they've never been here before, now that you're sort of at the end of the weekend, what's the tip you'd give them if they're interested in coming to one of these?
Be rich. It's so expensive to come here, like transatlantic flight. No, I don't know. I think like you have to like be prepared and stuff for like your traveling and stuff. Like I didn't realize till like last minute you can't just come with your European passport. You need like a visa waiver thing, so you make sure you get that organized. Like it is like not a joke. Like it's expensive, so you know make sure you allocate like your funds and budget well and stuff like that if you do want to come. But it's super enjoyable. Like this American event has been like crazy good for me. Like people are super friendly. Everyone has like been awesome. All the staff have been like really nice. Not that they're not nice in Europe, but like it's like.
No, I mean that's one of the cool things about like a worldwide card game is that there's people playing all over the place.
Yes, people are super just like awesome here. It's definitely worth coming to. It's interesting to see like the different like kind of like takes on like the decks and the meta and stuff like that. People like kind of different in Europe. People a little bit more different in America. But obviously like the fact that I'm British, so like I guess like the English like Western style of like culture and like connecting with people is like a bit more similar for us. So like I feel like I kind of gravitate towards Americans more in general anyway. So like our banter and like our humor is like a bit more similar than like our German cousins or whatever you want to call it. So I feel like socially I've been like really enjoying it here, probably more so than like European events, I think, because it just feels like more natural to me, I guess.
Gotcha. And then the last question, and we've kind of talked about this off camera, but what's your advice to any American player that's interested in going to a European event?
Don't feel like intimidated by Europeans, because Europeans are naturally like kind of colder in the sense. Like when you're dueling against like a European, like when I duel with Americans here, like it's all very friendly and stuff, but like Europeans, like I feel like are a bit more like serious,
yeah.
Like it's not like they're not serious in America. Everyone's like serious about dueling and YuGiOh, but like it just feels a bit more like professional and like ich bin ein alter Geistspieler, and that's we're here to like it for some people who aren't used to the culture in Europe, you might feel intimidated, like, oh, this guy's just being an ass to me, like he was just quiet and he just like gave me like weird like hand signals, but it's like that's just like the mannerisms and stuff. So don't be intimidated.
Don't take it personally.
Yeah, don't take anything personally. But yeah, Europe is like super like interesting and cultured and like there's
Should
so many
we be worried
places to
about a
see.
language barrier at all or no?
I think like language barrier is like honestly, I'd say like to not be an ass, like try and learn some basics like of the place, but no one cares. Like literally no one cares. Like everyone speaks some kind of broken English anyway. They'll understand you. You've got Google Maps and stuff to get you around wherever you need to be. Everything, like all the signs and stuff, are in English when you're buying tickets to like public transport and stuff most of the time. So you're not really gonna have any issues with that.
Man, that's awesome. Well, thank you for the interview.